Okay, today we're going to warm up with what I call a spinal wave. This is something I learned from Ido Portal, and it's a really good way to learn how to articulate your spine, and we would need a wall just to begin so you know how this movement actually works, because the wall will give you some sort of feedback. So we're going to come about 6 inches distance away from the wall, and what we're going to try and do is first we're going to work downwards from our nose all the way to our hips, one after another. I'll show you the points, and what we are going to do is we're going to actually just reach forward and touch the wall with our nose, and then followed by the chin. And then what next, we're going to try and press our chest forward. Now at this point, notice my face is coming off already, and then my ribs are going to go on the wall, and then the belly button, and then the hips. Now when the hips arrive, your nose should be at the furthest point away. So I'm like leaning away with the hips forward and then coming off. But when I come off to get back into this next point with my nose, I'm gonna round the back in and touch those points that I mentioned earlier on. So you're gonna create like this wave-like motion, okay? So let's try it again. So nose, chin, chest, ribs, belly, hips, furthest away, curl back in, nose, chin, chest, ribs, belly, and hips. So once you get the flow of this, you feel like you're in like a wave-like motion, okay? So eventually when you do it enough times, you're not gonna need the wall. But for the time being, we're gonna use the wall, and as my friend Farrell says, it's the wall banger. Keep going. So really try and articulate from the spine. When you reach with your chest, ribs, belly, and your hips, you gotta feel like that movement is coming mainly from the spine and not rounding the shoulders or hyperextending your lower back. Pushing out, in, and out. Okay. So maybe every day spend about 3 to 5 minutes doing this, and this movement will become more and more natural for you. Coming back onto the mat, we're going to start opening up the front body using some back drops in the standing position. So bring your palms, cradle that lower back, make sure you tuck the tailbone in, bring the elbows as close to each other as possible. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, start sending the hips forward, loading onto the front thighs, expanding the chest, dropping the upper back, and release. Coming back up. Again, inhale. Exhale, dropping back, and release. So you don't want to dump the weight into the lower back. That's what this is here for. Again, inhale. Exhale, feel the front stretch, belly and chest spread open, and release. 2 more. Inhale. Send the hips and the thighs forward, drop the upper back down, and release. One last one. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, reach back, drop, 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 and release. Okay, now we're gonna move on, getting onto our knees so we can get into a full camel pose to get into deeper in our back bend. So set your knees down, shoulder width apart, release the feet. Same thing, hands, lower back, tuck tailbone in, bring the elbows as close to each other as possible. Inhale, lift the heart or lift the chest. Exhale, start sending your hips forward, dropping back, feeling the belly and the chest expand and stretch, and release. Good. Again, inhale, exhale. Each time going a little bit deeper. Make sure you don't feel the compression in the lower back. Tuck the tailbone down. The hands are supposed to be there to give you feedback if you're really putting a lot of pressure in there. Okay, again, inhale, exhale. Last 2, inhale, exhale. Last 1, inhale, exhale. As you drop back, reach the left hand down towards the heels, and the right hand down towards the heels, and spread the chest. Keep sending the heart up, hips forward, load on the thighs, drop the head back last. Staying here for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. and slowly bring the left hand up, crossing the right shoulder, right hand up, crossing the left shoulder. And we're going to move on to our next exercise. Down onto our bridge position. So today, instead of going into a full wheel or full bridge position, we're actually going to do a version where we're pressing our body forward and loading onto the thighs and the hips. So I'll show you what I mean. So we come to our prep position. Instead of pressing up, now I'm going to press forward, sending my knees and my thighs up and forward, and then pulling back this way. So it's a frontal movement to load onto the thighs and the hips. It's quite intense, but just give it a try. So sometimes if your hands can't fully extend, you can push and then shift your hands over. So we want to focus more on just loading. The coming back phase, however you want to get back, then that's how you're going to get back for now. It's not going to be as springy in the beginning because I had to work through quite a bit of this before I could get to this and coming back, right? So let's do a few reps. So first, let's just focus on pressing forward and loading onto the hips. If we stay here, that's fine. You can bring your hands and slowly walk it down, walk it down, walk it down, walk it back. Okay, let's do it again. Press forward, shift, loading onto the hips and the thighs, and slowly walking it back, walking it back, walking it back, shifting it back. Okay, over time, if your shoulders are open enough, then you can start doing this version where you push, load, and come back. Okay, so let's try to do maybe like 5 more. Ready? Press, load, and come back. Press, load, and come back. Press, load, and come back. Change the hand position so you get a better pushing start. And press, load, and back. One last one. Maybe stay at the loaded position just a little bit longer now. Push and load, hold, and come off. And take a break. Now we're gonna work on rotation in the bridge. This is something that we kind of have been building up since day one, opening up the thoracic spine, learning how to load onto the hips and the thighs, and just doing a lot of bridge work, right? So this rotation in bridge is a really nice segue to have when you're flowing, doing your on-ground flows. So the version that I'm showing you right now, we're going to slowly build up all the way to we can do into a full bridge, but otherwise stay with whichever version that you feel most comfortable with or what's available to you. So we're going to come into this full squat position, and we're going to lean, maybe twist the left hand back first to come into this crab position with only one hand support. Now what's going to happen, remember we did those rotation and bridge on the wall. So similarly, now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same action, but now we're obviously on the ground. And we're going to reach, keep opening the chest and the hips up and come back out of it. So we don't go fully into the full bridge yet. We try the other side. So plant the right hand and reach over and up, come back once you reach your maximum and come back. So for most of you, because this does take time to develop, obviously in a short couple of weeks, some of you might not be able to access it just yet, but if you've done consistently the work, you might be able to attempt it. So go with what your body feels it's ready for, okay? So let's try again, do a few more reps. Reach back, other side, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So really just finding that nice flow coming into this almost full bridge position. And then once you're ready, you can reach back, plant the hand, come through. All right, so that's a full bridge. Let's try the other way. Reach back, plant, and come coming back out. Okay, take a quick break. We'll go for one more set. Few things just to remember when you're doing this. Again, you want to really protect that lower back, so keep tucking that tailbone under. It's like tucked under, and lengthen from the chest and expand it. At the same time, pushing your thighs, your hips forward out. So you're creating that tension line when you get into this bridge. That will help safeguard your lower back, okay? Let's try again. This time, I'm going to just keep doing full bridges, but work with whatever that you can, okay? So I'm going to plant, reach back, come out. So I'm using a little bit more momentum now. And out for 2. For 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. One last one. Watch that lower back. 8. Woo! Okay. Take a rest. Good job. Well done. We'll move on to the next. Knee taps on ground, starting from a full squat position. So we worked on previously the knee taps from this position, halfway. So tapping the knees, coming back up. But now we're going to start from this full squat position, okay? So it requires you to transition, work on balance, especially when you're on your balls of the feet, and the control. So we don't want to dump our knees onto the mat and then lift it off. We want a nice soft control touch and then return back to the starting position, okay? So let's go for 10 first. Transition over, nice knee tap, and come back. 1. Keep the core engaged. 2. Control. 3. Good. 4. So there's a temptation to want to just go down and come back up. But let's not try to do that. Work with mindfulness, control through the core. 6, last 4. 7. 8. 9. One last one. And 10. Okay. Rest for a bit. Come on to your buttocks, and then we'll go for another set, another 10. So if you find difficult transitioning from a full squat coming in, then you can always work with the version previously that I showed you. That's the easier version. Most important point is to do it with control, because you want to have the control as you're going down, just so that you know how to work on the eccentric phase, which is the lengthening phase of the muscle with tension loading onto it. All right, so let's go for another set. I'm just going to do the full squat version because this is week 4. Okay, coming on, knee tap, and for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 5, almost. 6, 7, good. 8, 9, good. Last one. Whoops, almost lost my balance there. 10. And relax. Good job. This next exercise is called the Cossack Squat, and basically we're going to squat side to side with one leg extended out to the side, okay? So first we're going to open our feet up about 5 feet apart. Next, we're going to first bend the left knee, lower down into a squat, and make sure our toes are pointing upward, and slowly if we need balance, use the hands to counterbalance, coming down as low as we can, and then we're going to come back up and then go the other side for 2. So keeping the chest upright the whole time. 3, 4, 5. Each time, maybe go a little bit deeper. 6. Make sure the knee doesn't cave in, pointing outward. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, good. Take a rest. We'll go for one more set. So with these, you want to be careful not to hinge the hips too far back and having the chest fold over. I would prefer if you keep the chest upright and maybe not go so low first. Work on, maybe if this is your maximum range, then work here. Slowly, when your mobility improves, then you can go deeper. It's better to practice good form overall than sacrifice that just to get a little bit deeper, okay? Let's go for a second set. This time, we'll start with the right side. So hands out for balance. Point the toes, go down, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chest upright. Make sure you breathe. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's hold here for about 5 to 10 seconds. Then we're going to switch the other side. 5 to 10 seconds. Well done. Okay, now we're coming back onto the mat, and we're going to work into an FRC type stretch. It's called the 90-90 stretch. Basically, we want to have our right thigh in a 90-degree angle, externally rotated, and our left thigh here internally rotated with 90 degrees as well. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to extend our arms and really grip tightly, tense our entire body, keep the back flat, and as we externally rotate, keep pressing that outer shin into the ground. We're also going to fall down, keeping the back nice and flat. And come back up, inhale. We'll do 5 of these. Exhale to fold, bring the belly closer to the thigh. Also keep pressing the shin into the mat. And up as low as you can go without sacrificing. So no rounding of the back, right? 3, exhale. And up. 4. And up. Last one, 5. Keep extending as far forward as you can, and we're going to hold the bottom for 10 seconds. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back up. So next, same thing, but we're going to change direction now, and we're going to reach the left hand and the right hand towards that left ankle. So we're going to, from here, rotate, twist, and reach for 1. Try to keep this leg down, not let it ride up. You're going to feel maybe quite an intense sort of cramping here. If it's too much, bring it in a little bit more, okay? Otherwise, keep it at 90-90. So again, let's go. Twist and reach and release. Inhale, exhale, twist and reach. Again, inhale, exhale, twist and reach. 3, 4, twist and reach. Last one, hold for 10 seconds, twist and reach. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Now we're going to change sides. So now the left leg, stand this way, right leg is internally rotated. So we want to achieve the 90-90 degree angle, but if this is too much for you, bring the legs closer in to start with, okay? So 90-90, same thing, arms out. Keep pressing that outer shin and knee into the mat as you fall forward and come back up, okay? Keep the back nice and flat. Exhale, fold for 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. And up. For 4. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come back up. So now we're going to reach over to the right ankle and release. Keeping the whole body tight. Exhale to twist and release. Twist and reach. 3. So keep the slide down and release. 2 more, then we hold. And last one. Hold. Three, 2, 1, and release. Okay, good work. Okay, part of the pistol squat progression now we're going to work on is that single leg squat, half squat. So what we're going to do is we're going to balance on one leg, and the other leg we're going to just lift it up, hovering off the mat. So as we bend this right knee now, we're going to lower down to this half squat. Use your hands, point forward if you need to for balance. Just coming to a half squat and then coming back up. Okay, first find your balance. If not, you can always use the wall. That's an option. For 2 and up. 3 and up. So keep this left knee bent. 4 up. 5. Each time maybe going a little bit lower. 6. 7. Last one, 8. Okay, good. Switch legs. So now with the left leg. So with the hinging, you want to push back, but you don't want to allow the chest to collapse too far back. You still want the core to engage, because to get the full pistol squat, you really need to keep the body somewhat upright. If it's folding too much, you're going to end up falling on your butt. Okay? So right leg up now. This is my not so stable leg. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 3, 6, 7, and 8. And good. Shake those legs out a little bit. So how low you can go will be determined on how good your mobility in hip and your ankle and your knees are. So a lot of the mobility work that we've been working in the past few weeks is so that we can get deeper into our pistol squat. Okay, let's try again. Right leg, left knee lifted up, hands forward or on the wall, whichever you need, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, last 2. Find your balance. Core engage. Last 1. And good. Whew. All right, one more side. Stay with me. In the right knee. Arms out. Let's go for 1. Oops. Told you it was my bad leg. 2, 3, 4. Keep that chest up. 5. Last 3. 6. 7. And 8. Whew. All right, shake those legs out. Yeah. Keep working on it and it'll get better. Finishing our workout for today, we come to a full forward bend stretch. So come into your L sit first. Remember, with the L sit, we really want to get our upper torso nice and upright. So if you feel yourself rounded, you can always plant your hands towards the back, the fingers pointing to the back, and just give yourself a nice pop up. Okay? So I like to even come onto the fingertips, just because my upper torso is really long. So to get that upright position, I need to come to my fingertips. Okay? So once I have this position, my toes active, pointing in towards my body, I'm going to release that, bringing my arms up. Deep inhalation. And exhale, pull my belly down towards the thighs and keep reaching my fingers forward. Trying to bring the chin towards my big toes. Keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching. Without folding the chest down yet. Reach, reach, reach. And you can hold your shins or your big toes, grab hold of it. Still trying to reach the chin towards the big toes. I'm going to fold down, down. And once you reach your maximum, I'm almost about there, then I'm going to start folding my chest and my head down. Breathe. Nice deep long breaths. Use the exhalation phase. Release the tension in the body, whichever you can visualize that's being very tight. And slowly come back up. Release the arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Lie back down onto the mat. Relax. Well done.